Good evening, Flosstube. How's everybody doing? It is Wednesday, October 25th, I believe. I'm actually at home, not recording at work. It's one of the reasons I put it off another week, was to be able to record at home, because the chaos of my house has calmed down. My father-in-law finally got his new trailer and got to move into it last night. So I've pretty much just been doing some cleaning up. I've actually gotten to stitch at home. I haven't gotten to do that in like 7 weeks since the fire happened, because on my days off, I either had things that needed to get done, cleaning to do, or places to go. And I did a lot of extra working. I went from working 4 days a week to working 5 days a week, because with other things happening, like us buying our house and things like that, I wanted some extra income coming in. Also with the Flosstube retreat, it meant I had extra money to spend there. And there's retreats coming up that I would like to do. I will have more information about that in my next video, because we kind of got to see how things go this next week. So don't get too excited. It's not coffee. I do not drink coffee. Every once in a while I'll drink like Starbucks, but that's so loaded down with chocolate and everything else that you don't really taste coffee. This would be apple juice in my mug that has my initials on it. My sister-in-law got it for me. I really like spiced tea in the fall time frame, you know, when you drink the warm drinks. I don't have any made right now. I have to make me some spiced tea so that I can drink cups of it when it's cold and I'm at work. So I do have a little bit of haul. I've been getting some work done on some stuff. I got a couple finishes. They're not big. They're my littles. But hopefully, if I get enough littles done, I might get back in the black before Christmas. Because, like I showed y'all last video, I went shop happy at the retreat and really put myself in the hole. So, I think I will start with whips. In no particular order, I guess, but the first one I worked on, or one of the ones I worked on, was my Stitch Rovia piece. For the first, I think I said this already, but anyways, the first 2 weeks of October, I was participating in, there's a group called Semi-Scene Stitchers, and they were having an event called Choose My Whip. So we got separated into groups. There was four ladies in myself and 3 other ladies in my group. And like if you're changing projects, you would send them a pic of a couple different projects, and they would pick which one you're going to work on that night. So this is one of the ones they chose for me. Is my Stitch Rovia's Quotes to Live by Charity Stitch. Oh my goodness, that's a light is not okay. There we go. So I feel like I may have showed this one last time, but lots more pink. Got the OU and starting on the T. Got some of this bottom border. I gotta quit doing that because the light makes it way too bright. So I'm doing this 2 over 2 on 32 count African Daisy Jobelin that I got from 123 Stitch. So I really love this fabric, and it makes me want to stitch this one all the time, because a good fabric just makes you love your piece even more, right? I know there's been a few fabrics that I've worked on that I'm like, man, do I have to stitch on that? I didn't like it. So, okay, that was whip number 1. I'm gonna skip that one and come back to it, because I worked on my Monopoly board twice since the last saw you, because I have to do 2 boxes a week, and so I'll come back to that one in a minute. Next thing I worked on I started working on this one not last week, the week before, right before I was supposed to leave for my daughter's tournament in Lubbock. And I was like, I'll take it with me. And when I'm sitting in the stands watching her game, I can kind of stitch on it because I don't have a lot of colors left, not much left to do. And then when I got to the tournament, they needed me to do the score books, and therefore no stitching because I had to pay attention and mark down every strike, every ball, everything. So I didn't get this one finished, and I really thought I was going to. So next time, I'm getting close enough. It is my Live, Love, Laugh. This, I don't have the information. Wait, I do. It is by Busilla. Live, Love, Laugh. It was a kit that I purchased at Walmart. It's one of the few kits I've actually been able to stick with at this point because most of them, now that I've learned about different fabrics and everything else, I just, kits don't appeal to me anymore. So there's where that one is. It's getting very close to being done. And then my, oh man, the light. Sorry, it's the only light I've got. Let me see if I can, see if that's any better. My needle minder is Eat Me, a little cupcake I got from No Name Needle Minders, Kate. I think that's right. Kate, the Queen of Starts. I won it at the retreat. Okay, the next one I worked on was a new start. It was purchased at the cross stitching retreat, both the pattern, the fabric. I haven't started with the beads, but I bought the beads there too. And so I started it on, okay, so with Stitch Mania, you're supposed to do a new start on the 17th. Well, I was off on the 17th and didn't get to do much stitching or any stitching. So I started this one the 18th, but I got a new start this month. And this is still the light. It's just too much. Let's see if that helps. It's Nora Corbett's Foxglove, and it's hard to see, but we got a light sparkle in the fabric. And I've gotten all the way down to here done, and then I've started on the wings too. So I started in the middle of the project, which is here, and then I worked my way up, doing like one strand of each color at a time until I got to the top, and now I'm working my way back down, filling everything in. So all of this is done. The blank spaces you might can see in there, those are where beads are gonna go. So I feel like she got a really nice start. I worked on her for 2 days because I just did not want to put her down. And, but then I had to go to my Monopoly because I needed to get, it was the end of the weekend, I hadn't worked on it, and that's where she's at. There's nothing below that. So, I really love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this is, oh, now, something about this fabric. It is 36 count linen. It's called Apollo. I got it from Under the Sea Fabrics. It is like, if I was at home and had my good lighting, I bet I could do this one just fine. But at work, when my lighting's crap, it's really hard. And then it's linen. So every once in a while, one of the threads gets super skinny or super fat, and then my count's gotten off a few times and I've had to frog. So if I do 36 count, I don't think I'll be doing it on linen anymore. I don't know if it comes in even weave. If it does, I will be avoiding the linen. But I bought this while I was there, and it was beautiful, so I don't regret it. But for future reference, if those holes are that tiny, I don't want linen because it's all over the place. The next one I worked on was Cheshire Cat by Brooks Books. And I got quite a bit done on it. I thought I was gonna get to finish it, but not quite, but I came close. And I'll explain why in a minute. So that's where that's at. I bought the Krynic while I was, when I went to the cross-stitching retreat, went to the LNS that was nearby, got the Krynic so I could finish that, and then I've been working my way up. Like, all of this is done. I'm just working on him. So I really like how that's turning out. I love the fabric that it's on, which I can't tell you what it is because it's on something else. But I've said it in past videos, so most of you probably already know. I don't know. I've got quite a few new subscribers since my Flosstube retreat video. So I may need to go back over some stuff if they don't want to go and binge watch all the other videos, because I was at like 180 something before the retreat, and I'm at 244. So I've had quite a few new subscribers. It's very exciting. Quite a few new Instagram followers too, which there's one right there. So I'm a little leery on the whole Instagram thing because I've had a few people follow me and their accounts are private, or they doesn't say anything about cross stitching, and so I've been removing those people because I do show pictures of my kids, and I wouldn't, you know, want to expose them to just anybody. I had my account on private for a long time, but I felt like that may have been one of the reasons people weren't following me, so I took it off private. But if I delete you, if I remove you, and you really want to be there, send me a message, because I'm trying to protect my children. And I don't want to make it to where those that do follow me can't see them, because I am proud of them, and I think they're gorgeous children. So just so you're aware. That's my Cheshire Cat. I really want to finish it. I don't think I'll pick it back up again before next month, which is just a week away, but it's tempting. The reason I got so close on a finish for that one but didn't finish it is because I had started out the evening working on another piece, and then I finished that piece. And I'll show you those in a few minutes when I show my finishes. And so by the time I was already halfway through the night when I started Cheshire Cat, had I had the full night, I probably would have finished it. Probably. Maybe. Who knows? So now I'm going to show you my... One second. I got a very dry mouth today. My Monopoly board. So I'm gonna fold it a little bit just so I could show you in pieces. This is where I was at when I started working on it last, and y'all have probably seen this, but I want to do it bit by bit. And it ended up being a railroad, and I had all this. My community chest is not done, so it doesn't technically count towards my count. Trying to keep track of how many I do in order to get it done in time. So the first day I did this one and this one, and then I did those two, and then I did these two, and then these two. So then the next week I was working on, I promise I can do this. It's a lot of fabric. It's so hard when I'm stitching on it to keep track of all that fabric. Okay. So then next was these two. And I started working on them on a Friday, and I was like, okay, if I don't finish my 2 blocks on Friday night, then I'll work on them Saturday, and I'll go ahead and go into the 2 that I'm going to need to work on for next week, and I'll finish everything up on Sunday. So that's pretty much what I did. But I had run out of the yellow, because I only clip off so much from my little, my Ziploc baggie with threads in it. I only clipped off so much. So I was like, that's okay. I got to like right here on the yellow. No, I was like right here on the yellow. I finished up the black, and I started going, and I actually finished up Waterworks the night that I finished the black on these two, and didn't have the yellow finished. So then I came back the next night and I finished, I think, so I'm not sure. But at this point, this is where I am. I just kept going. And this one's not fully finished, and I can wait because technically it wasn't one of the ones I needed to finish for this section anyway. But I got a lot of it done. All I need to do is finish his coat right here and around his neck and his little hat. And then he's done, and I just have to do one more next week when I come back on this. But I'll probably go as far as I can in that night that I'm working on it. All it's going to do is put me ahead, people. So this is where I'm at now. Can you see me? Yeah, I can get a little closer. Okay, so I have almost one complete side done. Almost, just about. And then, of course, this is most of the next page that comes. And then it starts going across here and the middle. I think I'm going to save the middle for last. So I will probably, I'll probably come over here and do these squares. And then these, and then these, and then these, and go back and forth. Until I get to the other side and then go across the top. And then do the Monopoly and the community chest and chance rectangles where you put the cards last. So that was everything I worked on. Oh no, it's not. I'm just kidding. Ooh, sorry about that. Where'd you go? One of these days I'm going to remember to take a vlog of the stand that I use for my iPad, because I think that's really interesting. I may do that tonight. We'll see. The other thing I worked on was my Heaven and Earth design. One second. So I got this new Q-snap I showed y'all at the retreat, and I'm loving it. Having so much space, and it's so tight still. I just love it. So I started working on the mini treasure hunt bookshelf, again by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I had just like this first square up here, and now I've got 1, 2, 3 across, and I'm starting to go diagonally down. This one's almost done, and then I'll come down here. This is a lot of Kreinik. And you may have noticed I kind of changed from Kreinik to Kreinik because I watched Bendy Stitching Michelle Garrett's video earlier, and she said, and I can't remember, but somebody talked to the guy who makes them, and he said it's like Kreinik. So it's Kreinik. Anyways, there's a lot of it up in here, and that moves a little bit slowly, and then I miscounted and had to frog, and it's been a little bit of a headache, but it's coming along, and I'm working on it again. So I'm trying to find a better way to do my Heaven and Earth design rotation. I only have 2, and I only work on them on the days when I am home. I don't want to take these to work with me, which is now only 2 nights a week. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to change out every week, or maybe like get a full diagonal and then change, or I don't know. I haven't decided. So if you have any suggestions or thoughts on the matter, I would love to hear them, because my mini Phantom of the Masquerade doesn't even have its first page yet, and this one at least has its first page. But I don't want to tell myself, okay, you're going to finish an entire page before you go back to the other one, because this one has so much confetti that sometimes my brain needs a break, and that's why I have the other one, because it has a lot of solid in it. So I hadn't decided yet. Any thoughts, just let me know. So that's, hold on, let me double check. I believe that's all my whips for these 2 weeks since I've seen you. Yes, okay. I have 2 more that were whips that became finishes in the last 2 weeks. So the first one, and just in time for Halloween, if I could actually like, you know, FFO something. So, is my jack-o'-lantern all done. Now, I do have to say, the French knots on the eyes creep me out. Like, I'm not that great at French knots, and so several of the times I did it, they pretty much just disappeared. And then when I got them good enough to show up, I'm like, well, those are too big. They creep me out. But other than that, it came out really well. And I still just absolutely love this fabric. There's supposed to be backstitching around the bats, but I did not do it because I kind of felt like this stitching, you can't hardly see it in this, but the backstitching on this made it feel like it's in the forefront. And then not having the backstitching to perfectly outline them made them look fuzzy and made them look kind of like they were flying off, like they're not right there next to the rest of the picture. And I thought that made sense to me, so I didn't backstitch those, but I backstitched everything else. And I mean, it really defined the leaves a little bit on the jack-o'-lantern, and of course you need it for his face, but I don't like backstitching where it's just like follow the outside of the cross stitching over and over and over again. It's one of the reasons I tend to like Doreen Jones backstitching, because it's there to accent the piece, not outline the piece. But I could see where in this one it really did help. It drives me crazy. Too much. Oh, and I did have somebody ask the other day, so I'm gonna repeat. This is Crystal Huntress 28 count Lugana from Picture This Plus. It is a darker color. You want very good lighting when you're stitching on it, but man, does it pop, especially with that. I mean, I've seen the one that does not have the crystal or opalescent stuff in it, and it's just as gorgeous. But I really like that. So I had originally bought this fabric to do the Lakeside Needlecrafts Fantasy Stitch Along, because I was like, I like purple, just makes me think of wizards and fantasy. The rich purple like that. I wanted the sparkly because it made me think of fairies and fantasy type stuff. And then my problem is I was like, okay, I'm just going to get, you know, a fat 1/8, and I'm going to do it 1/1. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I started it. I've still got it on here. I haven't pulled all of it yet, so I'll show you. I started it, and it looks pretty. But what happened to me was whenever I was doing 2/1, and whenever I would pull the DMC through, it would like fray it, so then it was all really fuzzy looking, and I just did not like how the threads were laying or anything. So I'm like, nope. I threw this into the bin, and then I just pulled out some 18 count Ada and went to town, because I didn't want to wait while I ordered a bigger piece of fabric so I could go do it over 2, or, you know, whatever. So, and I will tell you, the cross-stitching community is great and wonderful, and 97%, I would say, they're all for it. They will support you no matter what you decide, because it's your piece. But there are a few, and it was really apparent during the beginning of the Lakeside Needlecraft Fantasy Stitch Along, who can be a bit judgy. And I had several give me a hard time about choosing this fabric because it was too dark and I wasn't gonna like it. And let me tell you, I loved it. I thought it looked absolutely gorgeous on it. I thought it popped, and even the purple, like, let me get that out of your eyesight because that's ugly. Even the purple showed up really well, because with the sparkly, it really set it off. And most of it was darn near full coverage anyway. I liked it. I did not quit because somebody said it's horrible. I did not quit because somebody said I couldn't do it. It was the doing it 1/1 that was a problem for me. So, just know, no matter what, if you love it, do it. Don't care what the haters say. Just do it. My public service announcement for today. Okay, my next finish. And technically it's not finished, but I called it finished because, again, I was not filling the back stitching, and I thought this piece was cute enough without it. Like, everything, you could tell what everything was without having to add the back stitching. So I just said, I'm going to leave it just the way that it is. And this is Gingerbread House Christmas Ornament on 18 count off-white Aida. And I think it's adorable. I'm starting to reconsider whether or not I need to do the back stitching for these up here, but I don't mind it. So we'll see. I'm calling it done. Moving on. That is my whips and my finishes. So now we have haul. Oh, excuse my itchy nose. It's not a whole lot, but I'm excited anyway. My too twitchy all over the place for y'all. I have a headache tonight. You may notice I'm not talking as loudly as I normally do. Partly because I don't know if I blow y'all's eardrums, but I feel like I do. I get excited about things and then I talk really, really loud. But I am nursing a headache tonight, and so it's making me a little bit scatterbrained. But if I did not do this tonight, it'd be a whole nother week, and I did not want to wait another week. I felt like that was too much. So, next, crinkly. I got my September fabric of the month from Under the Sea Fabrics. I just got signed back up for the, fabric of the month in September, and I haven't even opened this, y'all, because I wanted to make sure it was well taken care of. So September's color was, Sage Brush. That's coming out pretty true to life, actually. It's, quite like some grass and bushes in a very abstract way, modeled. Very pretty. Yeah. I have not made a plan for this one yet, but I'm sure it will be coming soon. I feel like I need to kit everything that I have. So even if I'm not going to stitch it for a while, I feel like I want it all put together. We'll see if I actually do that, but that was my September fabric of the month. I've already paid for October's, so hopefully we'll be seeing it before too long. It dyed so differently on the linen and the even weave. I mean, they all do, but this one was such a drastic difference. A lot of people changed their mind about which one they wanted, and I wanted both. So I was okay with just leaving mine on even weave, because I do prefer even weave. I can stitch on linen, but I don't really care much for it. So I left mine at even weave. I have found, after getting to sit down with the fabrics at the retreat, I think Jobelin's a little nicer feeling than Lugana is. I don't know that I've stitched on it yet, so we'll have to see how I feel once I'm actually stitching on it. The other thing, while I was at the retreat, I met Angela Gibson and Linda Seamies. I'm going to mispronounce your last name because I met you as Linda. I didn't learn your last name. And they are, they have a webpage on Facebook called Stitchers at Heart. I know I've showed this before because she made the scroll rod grime guard for me. Some people got a Q-snap cover. So anyways, once I got back, I decided to order one of their project bags. And it's gorgeous, y'all. I went ahead and put my 11 by 11 Q-snap in there so that you could see. I mean, it fits in there with room to wiggle, which is good because like when I have my Monopoly piece on the 11 by 11, I have so much fabric on the sides that I couldn't fit it in my normal, like this one I bought from 123 Stitch. My Q-snap fits in there just fine, but once it's got the fabric on it, I couldn't zip it closed because it was too tight of a fit. Show you. See, I mean, it just barely fits in there as it is. And then once there's any fabric, it doesn't close. So this one fits in here with plenty of room. Should have fabric all around and any extras in there. Plus it's see-through, so you get to see the piece. And it just, look at those colors. As soon as I saw the picture, I was like, ooh, I want that one. I just love it. Purple's my favorite color. Pink comes in really close there. It in red are close seconds. And then it zips on the front, which is kind of nice. I don't know why I like that better than the zipping on the top. And it's got a little handle. And then there's a little, it almost looks like a locket, but it's not. A little heart shape doodad on there. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, because before I was changing projects every single night, no matter what, every single night. But with working on Monopoly and working on Foxglove by Nora Corbett, I find that I need more than one night with those pieces. And so this gives me the ability to leave them on the Q-snap and have them protected, you know, because before I would, at the end of my shift, I would take everything apart, fold them up, put them in their little baggies, because I just use these for my projects, for most of them anyway. No, all of them really, because even my Heaven and Earth designs, when I take them off the Q-snap, I fold them up and I put them in here. It's protected. So, so it'll be nice to be able to have it in here. So, and also for future retreats that I don't take all my stuff to, something like this will be really nice. So I'm very excited. I will link their webpage below. They have several of these available right now. They're just getting started. And they have several available, so you can go and pick one up. This one, sorry, is 14 by 16. So 14 this way, 16 this way. Is 35. And their 16 by 16s are 35. And then, but they have some a lot smaller that are cheaper too. So definitely check it out. And thank you for the beautiful bag because I absolutely love it. That was all my haul, I believe. I really should write stuff down. I mean, I do. This is my video notes, but it's not a lot. It just tells me what projects I worked on and then my flavor of the month or flavor of the week. But before I get to that, I said in my last video that I had gotten a new cross stitch stand. Well, yeah, a new one. And to be honest, I can't even tell you who makes them. I think it's a Kay's creation, but I cannot find it on a website. So if it is, it might be one they don't make anymore. I'm not sure. I would have to call the store that I got it from and ask her because I don't know. But I told you I was going to include a picture at the end, and then I didn't. So I thought not only am I going to show you it so you don't have to see a picture, I'm going to show you me using it if I can manage the iPad in such a way. So this is my stand. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. It is not a very big stand. And actually, when I was at the retreat, you know, I could just set it on the desk, set it on the desk, and have this adjusted, because it adjusts down here. So see, you can fold it and put it away. I mean, it goes next to flat. So you can adjust it down there. It adjusts right here for whatever position you need it in. This adjusts side to side. Oh, let me, there we go. Or upside down if you prefer, whatever. And then she had to teach me while I was at the store, and this is another reason buying from an LNS is very, very nice versus ordering over the internet. This middle piece, she explained to me what it's for and how it's used. And don't really want to mess with it because it's set correctly right now, and I don't want to mess it up. But basically, you want to keep, let me put this up here, these even. So when you're tightening this to fit around your Q-snap, you want the back part to be the same as the front part. And the reason for this is so you don't break your Q-snap. Because when it's at an angle and it tensions wrong, then it could break it. The thing about this, and I'm not sure how to show you this, but is you can sit on it. Let me see if I can angle this down a little bit. So, I'm not sure if you can see, but I am sitting on it. Set it in the chair and you sit on it. Very simple. And then I put my Q-snap in there. I tighten up these. And then I have it perfect to work on. I don't work like this where it's flat. I like it at a bit of an angle. So I just pull it down like this. I can slide it out a little bit. And that is absolutely perfect for me. Just like that. Works great in a chair. I actually use it in bed even. When I'm sitting, because the way that I sit in my bed, I don't slip it like completely under me, but I can stabilize it with my legs well enough to be able to use it, and it works. I really like it. It's got a nice grip on it. I don't have, this folding under. Like on my universal stand, if I put too much weight on this is moving. This one does a little bit, but it's moving the actual Q-snap. It's not moving, like it's not slipping out of it. It's this thing sliding up and down. So that is that. And you see, once I have my Q-snap in here, these are still perfectly aligned. That's this middle piece. So if you look and you put your Q-snap in it and these aren't perpendicular to each other, then you need to adjust this. Just a tip that the lady I bought it from gave me that I thought I'd pass along. So, my husband's done eating. Okay, that is that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was going to talk about. My apples. Last thing I have is flavor of the week. Okay. The movie I watched this week, I watched 2. And I have to talk about both of them. So there's that. I watched Baby Driver. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Some people have said that they expected a little more action out of it, but I thought it was a really good movie. And I really like how it ended. I was a little worried that I wasn't gonna like the ending, but I did. The other movie I watched was Everything Everything, and it's a romantic drama. Not very Nicholas Sparks like though, if you get my drift. If not, watch the movie because it's really good. It's adorable. I loved it. thanks to many Flosstubers, and mostly the ladies in my Show My Whip group. He's distracting me. The people in the Show My Whip group, they were talking about Outlander, and everybody that recommended Game of Thrones in their videos recommends Outlander, and so I finally started it. And it took me 3-4 episodes before I was like, okay, have to watch the next episode. I was mainly making myself watch it because everybody liked it. Now, I have a really hard time putting it down. And the site that I've been working at this week, no service. And so I can't watch. Well, I found that Starz does have the ability to download the episodes to watch at work, but I didn't realize that the first night, so I was like, man, I can't watch it tonight. But I can now. I'm going to download a whole bunch before I go to work tomorrow. I just finished the first season, so no spoilers, but know that I am with y'all in the Outlander fandom. The old Flosstuber I'm going to shout out this week is Trisha, the left-handed stitcher. I know that on several occasions I have brought her up because she influenced my bullet journaling, how I keep track of all my whips. Hold on, that's my bills. You don't need to see that. How I keep track of all my whips. This was inspired by her and then just modified to work for me. And I got to meet her at the Flosstube retreat, and she's just as soft-spoken in real life as she is on the videos, and for somebody that is ex-military, she seems like the most delicate, dainty thing ever, and I absolutely love it, and I love her work and her videos, so you should check her out. I'm out of apple juice. I keep grabbing my cup, but it's empty. So next, or last thing is new Flosstuber that I'm watching, and that is It Is Kismet. I thought, because for the Flosstube retreat they tried to create like a list of everybody that was going and their videos, and they did when they first started the Facebook group, but I guess towards the end of it didn't get kept up with. And so I tried to go through and get caught up on all of them before I went to the retreat. And I thought I had watched Diana's videos, but then when I got back from the retreat and I looked her up, I hadn't. So now I do. I watch Diana's videos, and she really, I just absolutely love her. And I've, only recently started watching her videos, but when we were at the retreat, I was just kind of sitting off by myself because it was one of those points where people were kind of wandering off for lunch and things like that. And she came over to me and asked me what I was working on, and we started talking about quilting, and she gave me a couple tips. And so now I definitely want to try and finish my quilt, Diana, but I'm still waiting for things to calm down a little more than they are. I'm almost there, but I'm gonna finish it. I'm going to, because you said so, because you gave me tips and tricks, and hopefully I can get that done. I want to say before Christmas. So if I do, I will let you know. So she's a great stitcher and quilter and person. So I definitely hope you check out her videos. I will link everything below that I can possibly think of to link. And I hope y'all have a great stitching week. Thank you for subscribing, and I've gotten lots more comments in the last couple videos. I am trying to respond to every single one with, if nothing more than a thank you. This is my attempt. So, and if you have any questions, let me know. I do try and respond to those as a response to the comment, but if I get too many, maybe I'll start answering them here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So y'all have an excellent week, and I will see y'all next time. But I wanted to show you and you're going to have to excuse my mess because I have not cleaned up in a while. The stand that I use for my iPad, and it's also going to mean a little walking because I want to show you something else it does. But I'm going to flip you around. Well, I can't flip you around, so I'm going to have to do this. Okay, so this is my stand. And let's see if I can do this one-handed. Whee! Okay. Sorry. Okay, so this is the stand. There's a button here. I pull that down. Knock it over. You get to see me uploading my video. So I stick it in there. And then I close it. Oops, I opened it more. Hold on, let me flip it around. There's these two little buttons on the back. I can turn it any direction that I need. I set my iPad in there, and then I close it. And there's these little rubber things on each side that give it a good grip, and they've got a little lip on them, so I just stopped my video from uploading. Anyway, I'll get back to that in just a second. So it doesn't pull forward at all. Let me... 1 second. I said that's not the first time I've done that tonight. This goes up and down, and this can be adjusted. These, I will warn you, these do come loose after moving it around a lot, but it comes with the Allen wrenches that you need to tighten it. And then these legs are like this. They can also be folded in, and I will show you why. We're gonna take a little walk into my kitchen. So, which is also a mess, no judging. So, the other thing I have, you see that right there? And then this can, let's see if I can show you, slide in there, nice and tight. See, it's a little loose, I need to tighten it. And then I can watch YouTube videos while doing the dishes. It's awesome. And then and it comes with 2 of the brackets that you can put anywhere. And I can take it out. And then I set it up next to my bed. And I can open up my Goodreader or Easy PDF, depending on what I'm working on, and have it just like that to be able to use. I use Goodreader most of the time because I feel like it's easier to put your projects into it from Dropbox or from Gmail or from iCloud, but it doesn't have the search function. So when I'm doing my heaven and earth designs, I do them in Easy PDF so that I can search. That's why I have the 2 different apps. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you about that stand. I got it on Amazon for like $35, $40. And like I said, it comes with the stand, and it comes with 2 of the bases that you can hook on the wall. Right now I only have the one over the kitchen sink so that I can watch Flosstube while I do my dishes. But I may set the other one up next to my bed. Right now, like I said, I just set it up. And that's what's nice, is you can use it both ways, so you can take it anywhere. I meant to take it to the Flosstube retreat with me, but I forgot it. I'm really bad about forgetting things. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. Y'all have a great week. Bye.